I bet probably I don't know at least 2/3 of Model X owners have no idea the car can do that.
You're not talking about the Christmas dance, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like such.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so obvious to you, but
Yeah.
because I've done it so many
Most
times
people
with
have-
my neighbors,
I
and
know.
ask me to move.
Right.
Like it's great.
But I mean,
Year
people have never
round.
seen a car do anything like that. So
No, it's radical.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite Easter egg or feature that you've put into the cars that this is just your favorite?
Well, I mean, I suppose that the sort of Wizards in Winter door dance is my favorite, sort of Easter eggy feature or fun thing that has no value in and of itself,
course
except
it does.
entertainment.
Kids
Yeah, it's
get
like
to dance to it.
it's entertainment, but it's like it's not. It's like an unnecessary thing that's cool. I mean, there was the tap autopilot 4 times to play more cowbell. Yeah. And like people would but now that's the one that you could accidentally do, and then your screen turns to like Mario Kart, Rainbow Road.
Yes.
Yep.
And
You can't turn the volume down. It's full on more cable. You gotta turn it down or off.
Yeah.
It does it again.
Kids can't be sleeping during that time.
Yeah. Santa
yeah,
too. Santa
I think it's quite a few times people have accidentally, because it's like it is a thing you could just tap too many times.
Yep.
It's like it's not one of those Easter eggs. It's like one of those like old school arcade games where it's like up, down, left, right. Like it's like just press it 4 times and bingo. So I think a lot of people just accidentally like, what happened? Am I going crazy? Why is the car doing this?
My grandpa lost it.
Yeah. So that's a cool one. You can change the car to standard 42. Car's name changed to Life, the Universe, and everything. There's the James Bond where it turns into the Spy Loved Me car. That's a submarine car, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there any undiscovered
Yeah.
Easter eggs?
Press and hold the phone and it changes to Thomas Edison. Is that my coordinate right?
Maybe actually, I'm not. There's a ha 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 if you want to change the screen to reindeer.
Ha ha ha, not funny.
Ha ha, not funny. We'll play the song "Grandma Got Run Over with a Reindeer." Grandma got run over by a reindeer is the ha ha, not funny. Yes.
Is there any undiscovered Easter eggs in production right now?
I mean, there might be. Like, they don't necessarily tell me about all the Easter eggs, But I mean, the thing is that, we can't spend too much time on Easter eggs because we should be.
Come on, that should be the entire focus.
Well, the problem is if something is rare, like what you're really trying to do is maximize the area under the curve of number of people times degree of enjoyment.
Yeah.
So, like, it's fine to have like a low effort Easter egg that is something that like a small number of people will get a lot of joy from, and then you like area under the curve of like, well, they got a lot of joy, but it's a small number of people. But what you're really looking for is something that would provide a lot of people enjoyment, and maximize the area under the curve of total people times amount of average enjoyment.
Yeah.
That's what you're actually trying to do. So that's why I can't get carried away with the Easter egg stuff.
Yeah.
You really want everyone to experience it, not make it some extremely 0.01% of people actually even know it exists situation.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a lot of work to do actually with the basic software in the car. Like our web browser sucks, and we definitely need to do work on the overall interface in the car. There's a lot of complaints on the interface. I think we do better on the interface. But like if you try to use the web browser in the car, it like takes a long time to load, and that's a trash browser.
Yeah.
It's worse than like some iPad from 5 years ago, like by a lot. Like the rear screen and the S and X, the controls need a lot of work. But it can be quite helpful for like entertaining having like your kid now has something to watch in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can put like YouTube stuff
Game
on.
changer.
It's a game. Yeah, if you play that, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. But like for example, like that's something where we could we should have separate audio for the back, and
Yeah.
what's the point of like currently we play the same audio level for that back screen in the front as in the back.
Yeah.
Like it should just play the back should play that audio, or it should like route to a Bluetooth that's keyed off of
Yep.
the rear screen, and then you give them headphones or something.
Yep.
So that people can listen to music in the front and not get blasted by
Yeah.
the YouTube Kids Show audio in the front, which is
Exactly.
currently the situation.
That's correct.
So there's like a bunch of stuff like that we need to fix. But the overwhelming focus is solving full self-driving. So, yeah, and that's essential. And like that's really the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth basically zero.
Yeah.
So.
One question I was going to ask with the little maybe remaining time is there any additional questions or FUD or misinformation about Tesla, or I don't know, maybe you want to walk around the factory or whatever you have time for? It's kind of quiet, so but whatever you have time for, we're game for.
Well, I mean, is there anything we should go over that would be helpful? I mean, I think some of these things are like just like the whole founder thing is like.
Yeah.
It's like I think fundamentally like even a sort of like kind of a stupid question, because what does it mean to found something? You know,
Yep.
There's some critical mass of inspiration and perspiration, but it's a nebulous number, or it's a nebulous metric to say, you know, this person deserves to be a co-founder, this one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's nebulous. But I think if you could apply the but for question, like but for this person, would the company exist, or would it have gone bankrupt or not exist in a form that it is currently, or in a much diminished form, or simply not exist at all? And the only two people that you could apply the but for argument to are J.B. Straubel and me.
Mm-hmm.
But for J.B. Straubel and me, Tesla would I think never have existed in any meaningful way, and if it had, it would have gone bankrupt. So those are the only two people that the but-for argument applies.
Maybe you want to go into this here or not. You mentioned, I think, on Twitter very recently about the cold shoulder Tesla and SpaceX and stuff has experienced and the broader, you know, economic and political climate. Do you want to share more about how that's been affecting things?
Take this question. I gotta go.
How you see that changing as, you know, Tesla expands in the Great Lone Star State?
Sure. So, I mean, those that follow closely are aware of it. I think you probably are aware of it. So, somewhat of a rhetorical question, I suspect. But I think the general public is not aware of the degree to which the unions control the Democratic Party. This is one does not need to speculate on this point. Last year, President Biden held an EV summit where Tesla was explicitly not allowed to come, but the UAW was. So now Tesla's made 2/3 of all electric vehicles in the United States. So deliberately excluding us from an EV summit at the White House, but including the UAW, that tells you all you need to know. The reality is the UAW would prefer that Tesla was dead or unionized, but not anything but alive and unionized. And there are no fans of sustainable energy. They have for sustainable energy the entire way. So now at Tesla, far from like Tesla has the highest pay in the auto industry, and moreover, the people that work at our Fremont plant have like 5 job offers to work somewhere else. There's negative unemployment in the Bay Area. Like try hiring someone in the Bay Area. It's ridiculous. There's negative unemployment. So our challenge is how do we convince people to stay given the many other opportunities that they have, let alone a union. Like they're like, what? We don't need a union. I've got 5 other jobs. That's the real reason. It's the complete opposite from what they're characterizing. And the UAW has never been able to get even enough people to do a vote, let alone get to 50%. And California is an extremely pro-union state. There's nothing you can do to stop a union if they want to come in. It's like the California will roll out the red carpet. So then the UAW is basically forced to engage in like dirty tricks and attempt to demonize me and anyone else associated with the company. It's like if the company's if the company's run by someone who's perceived to be good, then they have trouble unionizing because there's no they're like, well, he's a good guy. Why would you want to unionize that company? So they have to make me evil somehow. And so I do not, as you can tell, I don't like the UAW because they have run a dirty tricks campaign on me since at least 2017. Basically, the point at which they thought maybe Tesla wasn't going to go bankrupt. Because while they thought Tesla was going to go bankrupt, there was no point in dirty tricks. When they thought Tesla might not go bankrupt, that's when the dirty tricks and the sort of smear campaign started. So I'm not a huge fan of them. Now, their attacks did lose a bit of the wind in the sails when the president of the UAW was sent to prison. So that took a little wind out of their sails. And then when the next UAW president, who was supposed to be the person who would clean things up, when he was sent to prison, that also took some more wind out of their sails. But since then, recently in the last several months, they've sort of back to their old tricks. So, and I mean, they have so much power over the White House that they can exclude Tesla from an EV summit.
It's insane.
Insane. And just in case the first thing, in case that wasn't enough, then you have President Biden with Mary Barra at a subsequent event.